Download the free Anchor app or go to Anchorfm to get started. Once again, that's Anchor.fm. Anchor. You know, like the junk that keeps the boat from moving when you want to weigh anchor, stop it where it's at. Yeah, that's it. This app here helps you write a podcast. I just did my first episode not too long ago. I recorded it about 5 times. Very easy to use. Real sweet on editing. Has all the steps you needed. Distribution platform is awesome. I'm on Spotify, Podcasts with Apple, and a few other platforms I don't even know about. All thanks to Anchor.fm. Download the app today. It's free. This is a paid sponsorship. As in, I'm getting paid to sponsor Anchor and tell you about it. But let me clarify something. I'm only going to get paid if you know about it. So if I do a horrible job, I ain't going to get paid. You got to put in the work. That's how you work. That's what a sponsorship is. Work begets work. I put in work, make it awesome, and other people find out about it. That is work. Now, let me explain some of the creative tools to help you record some of the platforms like Spotify, as aforementioned, Apple Podcasts, as aforementioned, to make money with your podcast right here and there. This ad, I'm going above and beyond because I believe in this product. Now, mind you, I only did 1 episode thus far. I do have the second script ready to go, but I ain't going to release that script until next week. So get ready for it. It's coming. And then there's going to be just more and more and more coming because I believe in this so much. Yes, this is a journey. Yes, the first episode might suck. It might be a little bit crappy. But you know what? This is an adventure for both me and you. You as you listen to it, me as I create it. We're going to go on this road trip. I'm leading the way with a map in hand. You just the passenger in the back seat. You ain't even behind the driver. You in the back right seat. So we got a clear eye line in the sight, but you won't get no say-so as far as where we're going, unfortunately. I'm going to take you on a journey. You will get a say-so later on down the road, but let's get out there and see what we find first, okay? Now, I'm going to just lead you off with this last little tidbit. Download the app, get your own show running, and I might listen to your episodes too. I don't care if it sucks. Trust me, I took like 10 times to get my first episode posted. And really, I was supposed to post this like a month ago, and the script been written like a year ago. So I understand them nerves, them jitters, them fears. You just gotta take one for the team and get it over it. That's how you have to go. And use Anchor when you're ready to do it. When you're ready to make that leap of faith, use Anchor.fm. Download the free app today. That is, download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor.fm to get started. Please, I'm begging you. Why? Because I'm getting paid for it. I ain't going to lie about it. I'm going to be honest about it. But I need you to do it. Thank you. And enjoy your time. Hey, what's up? And welcome to another episode of Producing the Culture. I'm your host, Versace. Here I'm about to break down the cultural ideas, events, and references in media and other popular forms of expression. Basically, I'll observe, research, and comment on different samples of movies, television, events, music, and locations. Please note, 86% of all opinions expressed here are personal views from young black men with college education and public school learning. With that in mind, I want to understand the facts that are presented here with important references, and the sources will be in the description below. You go to my website for a complete bibliography. Second note, the expression of these facts and opinions are not sugar-coated for preschoolers. In other words, think of this show as a passively aggressive high schooler or a PG-13 movie from 2006. With that out of the way, let's get into it. Yeah, I know it's been a little delay and everything, but you know the stereotypes. Black people never on time. February, aka Black History Month, was a while ago, but let me tell you the little truth about it. You're actually supposed to just present what you learned on that
month. You're actually supposed to learn everything throughout the other 11 months of the year. So, I'm going to do that today. They make students Google and read books on the 10 most prominent black people of the past, with a new edition every 5 to 10 years. You know the typical figures: Madam C.J. Walker, Barack Obama, Mike Tyson, Dr. Carver, aka Dr. Peanut. But here, we'll go over the new people a little later. Today, we're going to mess with the OG of black history. You know, Dr. King, aka MLK, the graduate of Morehouse University and the preacher at Dexter Avenue Baptist Church. The man who helped organize the march from Selma to Montgomery and gave the I Have a Dream speech. I will focus on 4 pieces of media today. These pieces will shed spotlights on different aspects and perceptions of the life and legacy of Dr. King. I will break down My Friend Martin, Selma, Proud Family, and the Boondocks into history, production, and business. 3 of these are cartoons, 2 of these are movies, and 1 is a live-action film of the man. So let's get into it. Selma. Released in 2014 by Paramount Pictures, it is centered on the march from Selma to Montgomery, focused on the Voting Rights Act and the march itself. Some of the biggest shock values and takeaways from the movie is Oprah Winfrey got punched. Televised violence, civil disobedience, police brutality, the political agenda of multiple organizations, the FBI involvement in the civil rights movement, and Dr. King's love affairs. Some of the underlying tones are government power, community, a support system, and publicity. Some of the fiction brought into this is how it was dramatized and how it kind of happened. A lot of this is accurate facts, but some of it was embellished for a movie to make it more entertaining. Now the butchering part. I'm going to list off some of the cast and crew members to help with this production. Director Ava DuVernay, produced by Christian Coulson, Oprah Winfrey, Dede Gardner, written by Paul Webb, starring David Oyelowo, Tom Wilkinson, Carmen Ejigo, with music by Jason Moran and cinematography by Bradford Young. This film really highlighted some of the powers that be controlled during the civil rights movement and shed unfiltered light on some of the events. Because of the march and its publicity, people literally saw on their TVs what was happening to black people in America at the time. And this was a rallying point during the civil rights movement. They got the president involved. They got people from other nations involved. They got many figures from different churches and religions involved. All because they saw the brutality that was happening to people just have the right to vote. And it didn't matter if you were a young college student or somebody's grandma or grandfather. You got treated just the same, like dirt. But on to the next piece. Oh wait, before I move forward, one of the highlighting factors of Dr. King during this time was not only his resolve and commitment, but the attacks he endured. You had FBI agents posing as women who allegedly slept with the man, calling his wife up. Now everybody knows how you break up a good relationship. Talk smack about who you've been with and things like that from past relationships. Get some cheating and scandals involved. And that's exactly what the FBI did. But that's not to say Dr. King was innocent in those affairs too. Mrs. King knew Dr. King was a well-wanted man. Not just by the government. But I digress. The Boondocks. We're going to talk about the episode released in 2006 on Adult Swim, distributed by Sony Pictures Television. The plot revolves around a what-if story. What if, instead of just dying, Dr. King wakes up from a coma after being shot? And it's most notable for the State of Black America speech near the end of the episode. This episode tackles the commercialization of messages, the ignorance of people, more political agendas, and media involvement. Some of the biggest underlying tones included the industry of media, the community of folks around you, the September 11th attacks, and the divergent views of the same event. It's basically a what-if story. Some of the cast and crew for this production included Aaron McGrader, the executive producer, creator, and writer. And some of the voice talent included Regina King, the late, great John Witherspoon, Gary Anthony Williams, Cedric Yoberg, and Jill Talley. The theme music was written by Eshru. And some of this was actually produced in Seoul, South Korea. The production had 4 seasons with 55 episodes. This was a very controversial episode in itself that got the opinions and views of many actual civil rights leaders to say this was blasphemous to the legacy of Dr. King. While Aaron McGruder was showing that nobody's perfect and we ain't learned the mistakes from the past as a community and we need to move forward. Then you got the family-friendly Disney version. The Proud Family in 2002 did a Black History episode called I Have a Dream. The plot centered on Black History Month, Brown versus the Board of Education, the I Have a Dream speech, and the contributions of Black people in America. This also has underlying tones of financial support and education. You can think of this as I Have a Dream mixed in with The Wizard of Oz. The main character, Penny Proud, slips in the hallway after being told not to run on a wet floor and goes into a weird dream time travel state. She experiences what it was like before right after Brown versus the Board of Education, but before the ending of segregation in general, where teachers constantly downplayed the contributions of Black people, acting like it didn't happen or it was somebody else who had the idea. Penny, trying to reunite with her friend who is of another cultural background, is told that it is wrong, it is bad, but despite all that, she still be friends with people. Because she knows it's about their true character, not just the color of their skin that you have to be attracted to. And our final piece of media for today, Our Friend Martin. The 1999 animated film. When I tell you this was an all-star cast, this was an all-star cast. I don't name everybody in it, but let's just say there were some people you wouldn't even believe were in this. Including Idris Elba, Oprah Winfrey, and many more. This is a time travel story of 2 friends who view different points of Dr. King's life as a child, as a young adult, and as the leader of the civil rights movement, and seeing how things were back then. Similar to the Proud Family, but no holding on to violence. They've witnessed bombings, fires, the use of water hoses on people. Now, I don't know if you ever been sprayed with a water hose for fun, but a fire truck water hose ain't like the one in the backyard. I'm gonna tell you that straight up. You will be knocked down. And it ain't easy getting back up on that. It's a fun time travel story with a poignant message about coming together and overcoming racism and bigotry. All these pieces of media have a speech that focus on similar themes and tones. Voter registration, lasting monologues to make you really think about it after it's over, and the I Have a Dream version. Some of the main institutions and organizations represented in these films and pieces are the NAACP, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, SNCC, the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SCLS, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, the Urban League, and the Congress for Racial Equality. And let's not forget the many government institutions that were involved as well, including local police offices, the FBI, the White House, the Supreme Court, Congress, and the school system. Many of these media involve violence, including bombs, fires, fistfights, attack dogs, and shootings. And the productions for these, outstanding. Like, the cameos appearances between each of the media include 67 for Selma, 141 for the Boondocks, 130 for the Proud Family, and 27 for Our Friend Martin. It's hard to put up box numbers for some of the other stuff, but Selma alone made $66.8 million in the box office off a $20 million budget. That's for production, and probably another $20 million for marketing, which is more than success. Because if you didn't know, a film needs to make double of what it costs to make in order just to break even. Because you spend the exact same amount on the film as you do marketing the film. So to making 3 times the budget, wonderful. That's definitely a profit. Now, another aspect to look at this is the different tones and character developments of Dr. King in all of these. In Selma, the Boondocks, the Proud Family, and Our Friend Martin, Dr. King is a man of both integrity and ambition. He is a troublemaker, not afraid to rock the boat or challenge the status quo. He makes friends and enemies alike. Even the people that support him sometimes question his methods and ideology, as seen in all of these. Why? Because social change, going against the grain, it rubs people the wrong way at times, even if they are on your side. Dr. King in all of these is well educated and a very well-spoken man. He is able to shed light and put a picture to the things that people are witnessing, not familiar with, or downright involved in firsthand. Dr. King brings everybody to the table. He doesn't leave nobody out, whether they be grown adults or children. And whether it's commercialization, government control, or just mob mentality in general, Dr. King points out the hypocrisies of all these systems. He makes an understanding human rationale to make it undeniable and unignorable. Tripped on that word a little bit. But that's the man Dr. King is. And if you didn't know, he is the first black person with a monument in the National Mall in Washington, D.C. with, I believe, a 40-foot tall statue, if my math is correct. But you can look it up yourself or visit it if you're in the area. And that's all for today. Thanks again for listening. Please like, comment, share, tell a friend about it. Even if you hate it, just let me know so I can get better and improve myself. And I once again want to apologize for the horrendous publishing schedule. I'm working on that. A few things been coming up. Until next time, this has been Producing the Culture for Sexy Out.
Download the free Anchor app or go to Anchorfm to get started. Once again,